You ever watch a wrestling moment so clean, so perfectly timed, that your brain forces you to replay it 5 times before you even continue the video? Like you're not even reacting with hype anymore, you're just sitting there thinking, nah, that was way too smooth. That's exactly what this video is about. These are 20 oddly satisfying wrestling moments that looked so perfect, so unreal, they honestly felt scripted by the wrestling gods themselves. From insane catches to flawless chair shots, impossible counters, and moments that look straight out of an action movie, every single clip here delivers exactly what you came to see. And trust me, some of these get crazier the further we go. Starting with a referee that absolutely stole the show without even throwing a punch. Because during one match, while everybody's focused on the wrestlers beating each other senseless, this ref suddenly slides across the ring with the cleanest motion you've ever seen in your life. I'm talking full Olympic level form. Dude glided into position like he was auditioning for the Winter Games. Perfect posture, perfect timing, straight into the 3 count without missing a beat. Honestly, forget the wrestlers for a second. Somebody hand this man a championship belt immediately. Because that slide was smoother than half the moves on the roster. But smooth can also mean violent. Sometimes the most satisfying moments are the ones where impact meets perfect timing, like those knockouts, where everything connects so cleanly that it almost doesn't look real.
Knockout most men, and Umagas rolls. Oh,
1 second a guy's standing there talking trash. Next second he's spinning through the air like physics just gave up. No wasted movement, no awkward landing, just pure destruction wrapped up in one beautiful sequence. Wrestling really turns chaos into art sometimes. And speaking of poetry in motion, nobody mastered that style quite like Jeff Hardy. The guy made every risky move feel legendary. Especially on SmackDown after WrestleMania 25 during that brutal stretcher match against his own brother Matt Hardy.
Jeff Hardy risking all or nothing! Oh my God!
He launches himself for the Swanton Bomb, but at the very last second, Matt rolls out of the way. Now usually that ends horribly. But somehow Jeff lands perfectly on the stretcher itself like it was placed there with laser precision. It folds around him in the cleanest way possible. The timing, the landing, the visual, it was weirdly beautiful for something that painful. Then you've got AJ Styles reminding everybody why they call him phenomenal. Back on Raw in 2022, Mustafa Ali is setting up for a massive 450 splash. Crowds already anticipating the impact.
On the top rope! 450! Oh!
No hesitation, no adjustment. It looked like somebody animated it in a video game. That's the kind of counter that makes you rewind immediately because your brain refuses to process how smooth it was the first time. And honestly, for a guy his size, Braun Strowman had no business moving the way he did. The dude looked like a boss battle in human form, yet somehow he had timing that made everything look effortless. During one match, Apollo Crews starts unloading on Braun with kicks and athletic offense, trying to chop the giant down. Apollo builds momentum, bounces into a standing moonsault, and right in the middle of the flip, Braun just smacks him out of the air like he's swatting a volleyball.
Apollo Crews standing moonsault! Oh, literally! Halfway!
The impact was ridiculous. Apollo folded instantly. It was one of those moments where the collision looked so perfect that the audience reacted before they even realized what happened. Then there's Roman Reigns learning the hard way that Braun Strowman apparently throws chairs like baseball pitches. Roman's charging up for one of his classic spears through the barricade, crowd building anticipation, and out of nowhere, Braun launches a chair directly at him.
To rep it, to believe in it, to know. Oh my God!
Not tosses, launches. The thing flies across the screen and smacks Roman so perfectly that it looked edited in. Even the referee flinched. The sound alone made everybody watching feel it. But if we're talking about athletic perfection, Cesaro deserves his own category entirely. At Money in the Bank 2016, this man somehow created one of the cleanest ladder spots ever seen. He jumps off the ladder, springboards off the ropes in one motion,
Cesaro. And Cesaro. Oh, that springboard.
The height, the timing, the hang time, everything about it felt impossible. Cesaro moved like a heavyweight with cruiserweight physics turned on. Even referees started pulling off athletic highlights. During a steel cage match involving Goldust, Stardust, and the Usos, chaos is breaking out everywhere. Jimmy Uso lands a splash that looks like the finish, but suddenly Stardust rolls him up out of nowhere.
Cover on Goldust. Stardust legal against Jay. Shoulders down.
Dude looked like he trained with parkour experts before the show. It was such an absurdly smooth movement that people talked about the referee more than the wrestlers afterward. And somehow, chairs became weirdly satisfying too. Roman Reigns once tried stopping Sheamus from escaping a steel cage by hurling a chair at him. But instead of crashing awkwardly, the chair bounces off the mat and lands perfectly upright on all four legs like somebody placed it there carefully for decoration. In the middle of all the chaos, there's just this chair standing there calmly like it bought front row tickets. Now Ricochet usually looks like gravity doesn't apply to him. The guy flips through the air so effortlessly that sometimes it doesn't even seem human, but during one match, he accidentally created one of the smoothest double team moments ever.
Ricochet still gonna hit the shooting star. Meanwhile, Jey Uso splash. He's legal.
It looked like they planned it for weeks, even though everything happened in the blink of an eye. AJ Styles somehow appears again because apparently the man attracts satisfying moments. Braun Breaker misses a spear on Raw and gets furious. He rips off his shirt dramatically and launches it into the crowd. Except AJ catches the shirt one-handed without even turning around to look.
The dogs are barking in Charlotte. Clean ass transformation.
No reaction, no effort, just pure instinct. It was so unnecessarily cool that the audience exploded louder for the catch than the actual spear attempt. Then there's Kane casually breaking the laws of nature. Because watching a 7-foot monster do cruiserweight level athleticism never stopped being insane. Every time Kane performed that smooth flip over the top rope during his entrances, it looked impossible. A guy over 300 pounds moving with that kind of agility shouldn't exist, yet there he was making it look routine. John Cena also had one of those moments that caught everybody completely off guard. People spent years claiming he only had 5 moves, then suddenly he jumps onto the ropes and nails a springboard stunner out of nowhere. The crowd reaction alone tells the story. Nobody expected Cena to pull something like that out of his arsenal. It wasn't just impressive because of the move itself, it was satisfying because it shattered everybody's expectations instantly. But Randy Orton might honestly be the king of oddly satisfying moments. The Urko is already one of the smoothest finishers ever created because it works from literally any position imaginable. Whether it's hitting one on Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Seth Rollins, or some random guy flying through the air, Orton somehow makes every version look clean. But the one against Carlito at Unforgiven 2006 was unreal. Carlito attempts this flashy backflip off the ropes, and mid-rotation Orton catches him with an Arco so smooth it almost looks fake.
I can see one flaw in Carlito's. Oh my God!
1 second Carlito's flipping through the air, next second he's staring at arena lights. Perfect timing. Perfect impact. Then you had one of the coolest WrestleMania entrances ever with John Cena at WrestleMania 25. The arena fills with dozens of Cena lookalikes lined all the way down the ramp. Edge and Big Show look completely confused because suddenly there's an army of John Cenas everywhere. Then the real Cena appears and sprints down the aisle while the camera follows him weaving through all the clones. The shot looked mesmerizing. Something about the movement, the music, the visual symmetry. Fans replayed that entrance for years because it just felt so satisfying to watch unfold. And weirdly enough, one of the smoothest team moments ever involved Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. A duo that still feels strange thinking about. Right after WrestleMania 32, Bray plants Alberto Del Rio with Sister Abigail, then casually points across the ring at Sheamus like he's giving Roman permission to destroy him. And Roman absolutely launches himself across the ring with a spear that looked like a missile strike.
Cover! Spear! And Bray wins!
The timing between Bray's gesture and Roman's impact was flawless. It genuinely felt cinematic. Of course, wrestling satisfaction isn't always about athleticism. That's why fans keep coming back. Not just for championships or storylines, but for those split-second sequences where everything aligns perfectly and creates something weirdly satisfying to watch over and over again. Wrestling might be chaotic, ridiculous, over-the-top entertainment, but sometimes that chaos accidentally creates perfection.